See. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the
What's up?
Consistently Rolling Show. I am your girl, Consistent.
Speaking of rolling, are you rolling right now?
I was about to say we switching roles right now, aren't we?
Right. Hey,
I'm
what's up with that?
Consistent. How are you, and Lil?
Good,
You
good.
didn't introduce yourself. You just straight. Oh, am I
Yeah.
rolling?
I just came in with questions like I always do. I got so many questions. Um, yeah, I've been chilling. Going through my mute mode. I guess what you want to say. All those who are connected to the universe knows there's a point of time where we have to be humans because we are here. Um, yes, spiritually we are beings. It's even in the name human beings, but we are connected or grounded in terms imprisoned here. You know, so we cannot fully escape the matrix. It will allow us, some of us, or chosen few, to go outside that if we choose to. But so I take a break and be a human being. You know,
Yeah, I
and
was just talking to them yesterday. Those who may have heard the little announcement that I made, I think it was yesterday, that let you guys know that we will be back and we're here.
yeah,
There
okay.
has been different energies, not just with you, but a lot of people that has been going on throughout the
Hmm.
universe. And so we took a break. But we're back. I think we got a couple more episodes that we're going to try to do before the New Year's come in. Today is
Right.
random talk. Like Enlil said, we really have been mute. Of course, we always got out ear to the streets. We're always doing research, but comes a time where we do have to chill out just a bit. So this uh show today will just be random talk, different things that I guess we
Mhm.
have on the mind, and then the next time we come back, we'll have more structured topics and let you guys know exactly what we're talking about. So what we're going into today, Endless.
Oh no. Well, let's see. Let's get it all started off with the comet that's currently in our solar system going through. And scientists are speculating that it's going to be the brightest comet or one of the brightest comets that's supposed to be coming through. But here, just yesterday, I ran across some news that science saying that this comet is starting to dim. It was supposed to brighten because it's getting pretty close to the sun. So and is acting, in their words, very strangely. When they use those terms, a rock that's covered in ice that is melting from the sun because it's getting close to the sun, acting strangely, it leads me to believe there's a lot more to this comet. Let's say, for instance, Comet Ison. When it came through and it started acting strangely, and then we got images of this thing looking like some form of triangular ship or several parts. And its own gravity was holding these parts together. And of course, Ison went around the sun and broke off in some pieces, and some pieces went around and made it. So again, in the last 8 years of the comets that came through within my lifetime, they were been acting strangely. So we are eyeing these things and noticing what's going on in our own government. You know, did you hear about when the UN gave a speech? You know what the UN is? The UN is, right? They're the United Nations. Normally they give a speech or a great meeting. It's a very big thing globally, very big. Well, they gave one here like a year ago with the animated dinosaur, a T Rex to be more precise, Tyrannosaurus Rex, and they gave a speech on climate control. Like What? Man isn't bold enough to stand up in front of state in front of his people and talk about climate control. Why using dinosaur? What was the message in that? And what were they trying to brainwash us with? You know, it's just little things I've been catching on. My little break here off and on. I've noticed that. But yeah, things are starting to get a little changing. Here's where it takes the cake for me, and I'll let you tap on it. Um, Out of all the people, scientists or astrophysicists in the world that I follow and listen to and kind of keep up with what they're doing, Neil deGrasse Tyson gave a speech on his belief on alien life. Now, he was still in the frame of mind, microbials and so forth and so forth. But the fact that he even went there, because normally two things you will not get him to talk about. You check out in his shows, in his podcasts, in his speeches, aliens and religion. He will not speak on those. Absolutely. It's
I
not.
feel like they
Mhm,
have to get closer and closer with telling us the truth. One, we are
mhm,
waking up. We not dumb, deaf, stupid, retarded. We just not going to sit there and just
mhm.
accept anything to be anything anymore. And
Right.
that is just living proof from this pandemic,
Mhm.
pandemic, whatever you want to call it. Two,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
we feel it. We feel
Mhm.
something is coming. We feel something's not right. We know it. So again,
Exactly.
they gotta tell us more and more. And
Mhm.
there's too much evidence out here. Too much
Yeah. Well,
evidence
yeah.
out
Right with the evidence, they're stumbling across their own feet. They're trying to invoke more fear in people. They try to invoke hatred. More and more. See, go on any page, any website, any news platform, and all you see is absolute negative. They're really trying to push that. When people start to get out more, exercise, hiking, fishing, socializing with each other, what happened? COVID. Oh, wait a minute, we all got to separate now. And then as we all
there. But at the
separated,
same
you
time,
know,
I will say this: while they're saying said COVID things, right?
hmm
For me, and
hmm
even people that I've been listening to, who are
hmm
paying attention to the skies and the different changes of the weather,
hmm
how the trees and the grass and the earth is reacting to certain things.
hmm
And thanks to the technology that even though we're thousands of years behind, the little that we do have that they allow us to have, we're catching these
yeah,
things and we're telling
yes,
each other and we're letting each other be aware of these things. So you can lock us down however you want.
hmm
The information is still coming out.
right, exactly, exactly, exactly. Oh, quick question: are we live streaming on Facebook right now?
Yep.
Okay, just a second. So, okay, yeah, you're absolutely right. And not only that, everything, the earth, the trees, the insects, um, old insects are dying off, new insects are emerging. You literally see um everything in everyone's changing. Like our DNA and everything about it is changing. The sun even feels different. I mean, it was 30 some degrees. It was pretty chilly out in the morning. It was pretty chilly. I was go outside and meditate 'cause it felt very warm in my house. I thought it was very warm outside. When outside, I was in the 30s. It wasn't freezing. It was like 38, 39, something like that. So it was above freezing, but it was still cold. Had a slight breeze. Stepped out back. The grass and the ground was freezing cold, but the sun literally burnt my skin. And I'm standing like the sun's burning my skin, but it's cold. It was the sun rays were so strong that the coldness warmed me up. And the only thing that were cold were my feet, my bare feet on the grass. And even standing for a while, the grass at the bottom of my feet started to warm because my temperature was going up. So,
Brings me
and
to
I
this.
stepped back
It
in.
brings me to this since you said that.
Yeah.
Came across something that was talking about how, right? The
hmm
sun is like how do you know the math? How far is the sun from the earth?
It is 94 million miles. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how is supposed to be closer to that to us, correct?
Huh? Hell?
The hell. It's supposed to
Yeah,
be closer to us,
it's supposed to be
right?
below us. Yeah, yes.
Okay, because it's the bottom of the earth, but it's supposed to be
Mhm.
closer than what the sun is. Okay,
Yeah.
so we
hmm
can. The sun is so far away,
hmm
and you have just said that we can feel said heat of the sun. Hell
hmm
is supposed to be hotter than the sun, correct? Why don't
hmm
we feel that?
Right. Exactly. Because
Closer.
right,
Isn't it
right.
closer than the sun? Why
Supposed to be
don't we
closer
feel
than
that?
it feels. Right. Because maybe hell doesn't exist and it's again a part of an illusion that makes us think and invoke fear. It,
I'm
it's
just
it's
saying.
it's any for me when man comes to me with anything, although man taught us everything, but spiritually, and all of us have spiritual guides. All of us. There's not one person in this planet is walking around without a spirit guide. Um, they teach
Or
us. They
what we
don't. They
would,
don't.
or what religious people would call good angel, bad angel, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we all have it,
Mhm.
and of course they won't interfere with us at all. But we can ask for them to guide. They can't directly mess with, us, but they can influence us. Like if you're walking down the street and you get a strange urge to not make that right turn around the corner. Is it an instinct? Is it something that your spirit guide sees that knows that you don't want to be involved with? So you don't make that turn. And then some people do make that turn, go about their day and get into a car accident. Man, I knew I shouldn't have turned this way. I should have went the other way like I was thinking. Where did that come from? Where did that extra thought outside of your thought process come from? Because you wasn't thinking about it. You were thinking about, I'm going out here,
So,
I'm right at this light and go about my business. But then
well,
a thought came in.
some people would specifically say, okay, that's just like we
Mhm,
can go into the conversation of, have you ever heard God talk to you? Some
mhm,
people would say they can distinctly tell the difference between God or spirit guide talking to them.
mhm,
They're two
mhm.
different things.
Right.
Some of us can legitly say, it's the intuition, it's the feeling. You get what I'm saying? Like they
Mhm.
won't say,
Yeah.
oh, um, there is there's somebody talking to me. It's just a gut feeling. You just don't know.
Mhm,
But I think that's things that the actual God, I don't know what that name may be because man actually gave God the name God. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
But whoever it is, um, they made us that it made us that way. It made us just
mhm.
that way. So
Yeah.
we automatically know.
So in your perspective, and I asked this question to you many times over the years that we've known each other, and your religion is Seventh Day Adventist, correct? So make sure that's clear.
Correct. That's how I grew up.
So,
I'm not saying that is my religion anymore,
right.
but that is the religion that I grew
I
up
grew up
in.
Christian.
Correct.
I grew up Christian, So my question is in the beginning, it was the word. It was the word. Who said the word?
Who knows? Are you asking me this that
No,
question?
I'm just because see my perspective is that there was no literally word like the like Eve eat the fruit. There was not literally a fruit. There was not an orange, apple, pear, peach, banana, grapes, peanuts, whatever. There was no fruit. And in the beginning was the word. There was not a literal word. So the American language was created back in the 15, sixteen
We
hundreds.
made word. I feel like that's just the way that it's like, okay, all right. How can we describe things that we do not know? Right? Someone
By
writes a
using the
book. No,
tools.
no, 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 listen, listen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go
Someone
ahead.
writes a someone writes a book.
hmm
Kids explore.
hmm
Um, tribes tell stories. Some of them dance and make a
Yeah.
around a fire. So I feel like that was the way of explaining exactly what happened in what I'm saying, in the way that they
Yeah.
could. So in the beginning was the word. That was just something that they said. Another culture would say that it was a Big Bang theory. You know what I'm saying? It's just a
Yeah.
way of explanation of what may have happened in the beginning. We don't
Right.
remember. I'm not gonna say we don't know. I'm just gonna say we don't remember. And the ones that said
Mhm.
no only keeps us with so much information.
Mission. Exactly. So in our experiences in the years that have passed for you and I, would you think that in the beginning the word was a frequency? And
But
if
when
in
I
fact,
say that now, are you asking me due to
yeah, yeah,
our conversations or
yeah,
from
yeah,
my set
yeah,
own research?
yeah, it's a little of
Because
both.
man, now you and I conversations, and I'm going to be honest. I used to say that you were very crazy. I used to
Yeah.
say that you were Satanist. I used to say
Mhm.
that you were legitimately
Oh,
going to hell.
I could touch
But
on
now,
that too. Mhm. Go on.
upon doing my own research,
Mhm.
I feel a little bit different. I feel like just like our moods change. That has everything to
Mhm.
do with the frequency that we're on. Our
Mhm.
emotions are the ones that guide us through a lot of different things. If I'm sad, no, I may
Mhm.
wake up today and I say it's a bad day, and it'll be a bad day for the rest of the day.
Mhm. Mhm.
I can wake up and say, you know what, today is going to be an awesome day, and that's exactly what it is. Nothing deters
Mhm.
from that. So in the
Exactly.
beginning, said God, did He actually say anything? Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you because I'm my understanding of it is this:
Right.
I'm a music person. So in the
Mhm.
beginning, to me, God made music, and all of us
Mhm.
exist.
We can still hear it today. We can still hear it today. I have witnessed this with my own ears. Just point a microphone to the stars and you hear the voice of God. Um, uh, uh, um, Tesla said the same thing. Because Tesla was a ham radio creator. He created the ham radio. He listened to it. He's the one that discovered the Black Knight satellite, the 3,000-year-old satellite that's going around the Earth in the polar orbit. He discovered that because he created the first radio. He heard the frequency. And today, we can still, that ringing in your ear, if you Google the ringing in your ears, is a medical condition. Okay? A
That's not a
medical condition.
medical condition because
According to not to me, to
I
scientists and doctors. I know it's not a medical condition. I know what the ringings
but
of the ears are.
because it's like this. I may have the ringing in the ears, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's people who legitly can see colors and how it moves and reacts. There's people
They
who
can
can
feel color.
legitly see. Me
Mm-hmm.
and you have had conversation with a said person. I'm not going to say their name, but who
Yeah.
can legitly see the waves and the waters that it surrounds us. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
can't really say
Mm-hmm.
that's a medical condition. That's just like for me,
Right.
even
That's
in
my
the
point.
field of the world that I am in, I can't call a person that is schizophrenic crazy. I can't do that anymore. You get what I'm saying? So I mean, it's when it's the problem is they only gave us a small scope to look.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
When we go outside of that small scope to look through, and we start seeing through another pair of lens,
Yeah.
you see so much more. It's like you understand why they say God only judges you on your heart. Because there's absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
while we know that there's evil in the world, that's because that's embedded in us.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no reason to judge because there are reasons for said things that people do. So
Yes.
it's just more to it.
Exactly.
That's why it's like you can't look through that small lens. And my friend
Right.
pulled me out of that small lens.
How
But
dare
it's the
he?
truth. It makes you feel better. Like it's honestly it's freeing. I will say that. I go through my moments. Of course, I'm human. I'm emotional. Um,
Exactly.
it's
Gotta
just a
be.
part of life. It's a part of
Mm-hmm.
growth. It's a part of every aspect that we go through. My emotions can pull off for somebody else's emotions. I've learned to try to
Yes.
cut that off. But like I said, once you open your mindset, we stumble, we fall, but once you open that mindset, it's freeing. Honestly,
Hmm.
it's very freeing.
Yes.
To in the religious background that I am in, I'm not even going to lie to you. While I didn't practice it fully as an adult myself, it
Yeah.
was very scary. It's very fearful to know that Jesus is coming again and
Hmm.
I'm not ready and I'm doing things that I'm not supposed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very,
Yeah.
very scary. You had this. It's a really hard tightening of a burden in your
Yes.
chest and on your back, and to
Mhm.
know that you do believe in Jesus, that's fine. But to know
Right.
that it's not a hardship as the word or the world would make it to be, that's what makes it
Right.
much more freeing. To know that this whatever person that you said follow loves you through and through, no matter what it is that you choose to do, that's
Yeah.
what makes it
Hmm.
freeing. To be saying that to fear God is to love God, there's absolutely no way. I don't want to live in fear of someone that I'm supposed to love. I mean, I want my kids to respect me. I don't want my kids to fear me in no way, shape, form, or fashion. So I can't get there to fear God is to love God, but to know that first you gotta learn to love self because that is the problem. We're taught that
Yeah.
we're not supposed to be
Thank
prideful, we're
you.
not supposed to be
Thank
boastful,
you.
we're not supposed to brag, we're not supposed to do this, we're not supposed to do that. So what we do is we externally beat ourselves up because we don't
Hmm.
love how we look, how we dress, or whatever the case may be. So we externally beat
I know
ourselves
somebody like
up,
that.
and the first
Like,
love that we actually are supposed to learn to do is ourselves. And
yeah,
once we get
exactly.
all of that in perspective, then we'll realize how God loves us. Because honestly, if we love ourselves with conditions.
Hmm.
God is supposed to be a God that loves us unconditionally, but we put conditions on ourselves. So there's
Hmm.
no way that we can learn how to absolutely love through and through, no matter what, until we love our whole self. That's
Exactly.
where it's
And
at.
once you learn to love yourself and look within, you will be connected to God. You will literally hear and feel the frequency and the love that God, this
Ways and
being.
different ways and avenues to go through it and go to it. You know what I'm saying? For
Mhm.
you, it may be meditation. For me,
Right.
it is music. Music is like everything to me. You
That's,
know what I'm saying?
this is all part of
Tomorrow,
the
I may
frequency.
decide to sit in silence. This person may
Yeah.
say, "Hey, I'm fasting." It's different ways to it, and that is why God created because He
Hmm.
wanted it's the experience of it all. There is no
Exactly.
judgment because there is no right or wrong way to get to or God or
Right.
Him or whatever it is that we trying to say. But like once before, we had these conversations of the all these said different religions. They're basically kind of telling the same story about the same
Exactly.
thing, but because we have said people who want to be the ruler, or as we would call it, the devil that is the ruler of this earth,
Right.
it's a lot of chaos and confusion, and this is what separates us. Once we learn that we are, what do we say? We are our brothers and sisters of God. No, we're absolutely all trying to just be one, and one is
Right.
just trying
We
to be
all
all.
do.
And once we get that together, then we'll be so much
Of
better.
course,
Another thing
but
that I want to
religion.
talk about. Listen,
Uh-huh.
let's talk about this bed.
The who?
Why do you think that they pushing this bed so much?
The what? The
This
vid?
this bed, the jab.
The jab?
Yeah.
Oh, why they pushing it so much? Alternate DNA? We should all know that.
Why? But why though?
Well, there's several reasons why, but which one stands out the most? I mean, they can alter us because one, food shortage and climate change. They don't want to wipe out the population or population control, so They alter our DNA. Those who can adapt will die. Those who can adapt will. And keep in mind, with all this going on being said, this present day is for us, but the future, which they're planning millennial ahead of us. See, everything's
But
happening
could
now.
you also think of it
It's
like
our
this
children.
too? Our people, our generation, is
Yeah.
starting to live longer than what
Well,
the life
yes.
expectancy is saying that it was because we're learning to get back into healthier habits. We're
Right.
exercising.
But
We're
it
drinking
has
a
to
lot of.
be right. It has to be healthy habits because they're still trying to stop us from eating the earth, eating from the earth. They want us to get the stuff from the laboratory. Like literally, you walk to any market, everything in that market, from the fruit to the candies. So I don't care what you eat. I don't
You
care
have
what
to
it is.
be. You gotta be honest. We are becoming very more conscious people. And
Yeah, we are.
even though it may not look like it, people are
Hmm.
starting to learn how to grow their own food again. They're starting. Thanks to one thing I will say, thanks to Michelle Obama, who promoted putting your hands in the dirt and growing your own said food. We're doing that
Right.
again, and I know that it's chemicals, and I know, but it's way more healthier. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
we're trying to get back to that.
If you break it down genetically, right? Break it down genetically. So let's just say I want to taint your food, right? You won't go to my market. You won't eat my GO foods. You won't eat nothing that I make out of the laboratory. You know, like it's the same. It's more healthy, but you won't do it. So what would I do? Hmm. It's okay. So I'll take the same chemicals that I make my food out of, and I'll turn it to an aerosol. Then it's going to rain, and it's going to rain on your property. It's going to rain into your soil, and you're going to grow your food because,
We
and you're
can't
going to
get
eat it.
around it. Let's just be honest. We know we can't get around it. But then now we're getting
Yeah.
to the people who are saying, okay, forget it. For 12 hours, I'm going to learn how to fast. Okay, well, let me stretch it more.
Hmm.
For a week, I'm going to learn how to fast. So
Hmm.
this, we're getting around. We got people on this
Yeah.
planet who don't eat anything at all. They don't
Right.
drink water.
They're amazing. Yeah. Got a
So
whole
that's what
culture
I'm
of people who
saying.
really don't eat.
Life expectancy, and I've
Mhm.
seen these people, and they're very healthy. They don't look like the little frail, fragile people that you would
Right.
think that they would look like. They're
Right.
very strong people. So that's what I'm
Mhm.
saying when I say it's more. It's a collective of things. Of course, it's a population control thing, but
Yeah.
also we are living longer than what we used to because of the health conscious things that we're trying to do and be more better
Right.
at. Also, there okay, I lost my train of thought, but it's a lot of reasons why, because you could go into the spiritual side of it and say, even
Hmm.
though you guys are trying to do population control, the absolute
Hmm.
God is showing you that you have no control because there is way more people on Earth now
Yeah.
than it was thousands of years ago. And where are they coming from if we decide that okay, all we do is recycle? There's no way.
Right.
We recycle from other planets and other places.
Right. Exactly. So I got a theory. Let's throw out there. Something to chuckle at. So what if, we're living longer. We're taking vitamin supplements. Some people are growing their own foods and drinking right, and some people stop smoking, stop drinking, and we're living long. And they're promoting this good health, and everything. And at the same time, they are altering our DNA by giving us different things and this, and that. What if we are being conditioned to be eaten?
They eat.
No, listen to me. What if we are being conditioned to be eaten?
By what?
Just to
Are
say
you
by
going
who?
back into that? Huh?
I mean, yeah. I mean, think about it. If a farmer raises pigs unhealthy, who's going to eat them? But if they're healthy and look good, we eat them. Who say we're not at the bottom of the food chain?
For who? For what?
I don't know. Maybe draconians. Maybe from the Draco system.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Let's start at the very beginning. because I was thinking about something. So maybe my theory from the beginning will kind of bring into your theory. So I was, I was thinking about before this pandemic started, right?
Mm-hmm.
We everybody had to do the census. Oh, we do it every 4 years, whatever, no big deal. But this time, they legitly was knocking on people's doors. You getting fined. You doing this. You doing that. And
Yeah.
we need to know who and what and how many people is on said earth, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
at least the
Hmm.
United States. We don't
Right.
know how the other planets, other kind of
Mm-hmm.
continents was, but we gonna say the pandemic happened. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we also find out that they're cloned mosquitoes. And these mosquitoes was horrible this year.
You know what they're
Honestly,
doing? Get DNA sample.
I was going there. I was going
Mhm.
there.
Hold your mic out, cause you're breaking. Hold your mic to your mouth, cause you're breaking up a little bit. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Going there. So these
Uh-huh.
mosquitoes are not like regular mosquitoes this year. They was tearing people up. And yeah, you may have hit them. This was not even my theory. This is somebody else's theory too. But you may
Mm-hmm.
have swatted them and smashed them and think that you saw blood, but that was DNA blood of yours that was going back to the lab of yet
Mm-hmm.
being processed or making cloning of people or whatever the case may be.
Movies
But
about
it was
this.
very, very. But then we got the coronavirus. Well,
Mm-hmm.
coronavirus started coming out around the time when the flu vaccines were coming out. Everybody got a shot. Everybody got sick. People died. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing
Yep.
here?
Right. Conditioning and picking out the good from the bad. I just gotta throw that out there, cause okay, so on my theory,
We're
I
going
just
back to the
now
draconians and us eating.
right.
Why
So
would
where do
they
we
be
get cannibalism
interested?
from?
Well, you know what? Now that you say that, now that you say that,
Mhm. I'm just saying, where do we get cannibalism from? How do we inherit that? The drinking of the blood, the eating of the liver, the heart. Where do we get that technology from? That knowledge that we can eat another one of our own kind.
okay, the draconians though,
Hmm?
because if we go back to and I always gotta go back to my home base. I
Hmm.
do. Unfortunately, I do. The
Hmm.
only reason why we started eating, well, according to that home base, the only reason
Hmm.
why we started eating um flesh, because that's what animals are, flesh. The only reason why we started eating that was because there was nothing on the planet that was growing from the earth at the time after the flood.
Hmm. Hmm. But the animals, yeah, there was
Right.
really, really no vegetation. But okay, so because okay, so here's how I see it. When
But then it was
before
said that what we could eat and what we could not eat, what was good and what was not good, what was clean and what was not clean.
right, exactly. But we got that from somebody. Somebody we
We
learned
do believe
to.
that. We do know that people ate people. We can go into the history, and I'm sorry to for our listeners that are of a different ethnicity, but we can go into the history of us. You know what I'm saying? We were being eaten
But
because they wanted our melanation.
right,
Or
right.
we can
That
go
was
into
European.
now where we have, let's go into the abortions now. Like, we don't know what happens to those babies. We do know that they get used for skin cream. They do. It's
Mhm.
a delicacy to some people. Brains is a
Yeah,
delicacy to some people,
it
and
is.
they pay $1,000 for this said
Yeah.
delicacy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly. Same thing with adrenaline. You get a person really, really scared, right to shocking moment, and you drink their blood, you get high. It's a high unknown to like you never felt. I don't know what it felt like, and I never want to feel it, but it's an exception around. And it's also highly addictive. And it's where you have your elitist murdering type people. go around these cults and stuff, and throw them in a child, bleed them, and drink the
We'll
blood.
say we got some of these said upper people that are looking way younger and like very emotionless
Yeah,
lately.
yeah. But that era is starting to subside because like Epstein and all the people in the Vatican and governments and everything are starting to disappear because a whole new wave of living is starting to change with the cloning. You can now
No, because
download to.
we do know that they coming out with the I don't excuse my French people, but I don't give a fuck attitude because we got the young ones just letting us know like they out here.
Yes,
That
they
that's
are.
the that's the crazy thing. Like, and honestly, on one aspect, because this again where I say, the love of self and the absolute. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
What make you
Hmm.
understand? So on one aspect, I look at it like this: if we're accepting people for their sexual orientation, why aren't we accepting them for what they are? Why can't they come out and be exactly who they are? Why do they
Exactly.
have to hide in the closet? And this is why those young ones are like, "Hey, I'm here."
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Because back in the day, there was a
I
sin.
really think that
Like they
all
did to
every
you.
I mean, where there's evil, there's good. So at the
Okay.
end
The
of the
universe has
day,
to create a balance.
even huh?
I said the universe has to create a balance. That is absolutely right. There has to be a balance.
Right. So
There's
even
good, there's evil.
who is not all the way great, I got some bad crap. You know what I'm saying? Some bad thoughts, or whatever the case
Me
may
too.
be.
I
But
enjoy that too. Yeah.
no, no, bring it back, back here is where we are.
All right.
But
All right.
I mean, I don't know. It's just I don't know. In this day and time, in this day and age, we can absolutely say that the Bible is very correct in a lot of predictions that they say.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
what the understanding of it is a lot of people have different interpretations. Like we have a set friend that can predict certain things of the Bible according to astrology. You know what I'm saying? Or I can look, or my set elder can say, "Hey, we're in the end times because this," and that'll be their interpretation. And for me, I feel like it came from somewhere. Absolutely, man is reading it and making it happen, and also history repeats itself. It's always been said there's nothing new under the sun. I mean that's the one thing that I really connect with that only makes logical sense. Because at the end of
Mhm.
the day, nothing wrong with the Bible. It is a good read, just like any other history book or educational, inspirational thing. Um,
Mhm.
but who told us that this Bible was the word of God, man. Who made the name God, man. So not like I said, I feel like that's just like me writing my own diary. And some people took bits and pieces from my diary, put it in this book, bits and pieces from the diary, put it in that book, and
Mhm.
it became history.
Yes.
And yet maybe the future too. But we also said we always say there's nothing new under the sun. That is a I think that's a universal thing, honestly.
Yeah.
Nothing new under the sun. People from
Definitely
different
you.
continents say that. So when we see these said things or predictions or whatever they want to call it, the thing
Mhm.
leading up to the ends of times, it happened
Right.
before somewhere.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Whether it was here, somewhere else, or another dimension, whatever. So let's talk about frequency a little bit. And the universal language, energy, frequency, vibration. Let's talk about frequency a little bit. So you sent me a tidbit clip about our friend Elon Musk and what he named his son, his child. It was a daughter or son. I think it was his son. I
Son,
think it was his son. So, and you sent that to me. And and we all know how words work. You can write down a word on a piece of paper, and another person can read that word. That word carries a frequency that will resonate with that person. Or somebody can just randomly read it and that word will resonate. Words are basically like spells, or a frequency, and we can pick them up. If I text you a certain word, you know how I'm feeling based on what you read the word. Because you
Yeah.
know it. You don't read
That
it, you
energy.
feel it.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
oh, why
that's where
you
it
mad?
comes
You
from.
know what I'm saying? Why you mad? So that's how it is. So when you sent me that about Elon Musk and what he named his son, it was what to you look like an equation. He named this child an equation. And when I opened up my phone and I had a witness with me who witnessed this, and I looked at it, I resonated differently. I'm like, that's the language that I'm trying to explain to you on how when we are all born, what we call baby talk or babbling, babble, is a language. We all spoke it. We all came out. We all spoke it. And um, I am currently around two little beautiful twins, right, females, and I watched and observed them communicate with each other, like literally sitting on my lap or sitting in front of me, and I watched them communicate, and I watched how if one screams, the other one perks up, looks over, and she was screaming across the room, and and it's like this whole communication, and then their other sister, which is like 1 or 2 years older than them, but she's about 3, 4, something like that, 2, 3 years old, something like that. She also dips into their talking and then dips back to our talk. And this is where when she
Still
talks
there.
to us, it's like kind of scrambled up. She had a whole conversation with me. And I understood maybe 4 words out of a whole 3 minute conversation. That she's looking me in the eye. She's eye to eye with me, telling me a story or whatever was going on in her life at that moment. She's explaining it to me, and I'm looking at her. But then I can say a word here, blah blah blah, a word here. But the babies are reacting to it as if they know what she's saying. And I'm looking just ready to lose my mind because I'm literally looking at a form of language that you and I would call baby talk or babbling or Google gaga Google, but it is literally their way of words. And what they are
I
pitch
gave
and
you
tone.
an assignment. Did you do it?
Huh? Huh?
I gave you an assignment. Did you do it?
If I get an assignment, would I do it?
I gave you an assignment. Did
Hmm.
you do it?
What was the assignment? I forgot. I just
It has everything to do with your phone and them talking. Your phone
record it.
and them talking.
Yeah, I should. No, I didn't record it. I'm sorry, I didn't record it. I lack in it, but I will start doing it, especially because I got the document. I have to document this because before they get to an age where they forget and stop doing
What helps you with that?
it.
You ever watch the show? You got a bunch of kids, so I'm pretty sure that
Mhm.
they watched a movie called Baby Genius. You seen that?
That sounds familiar. That almost like sounds like boss baby,
So
something like a
Baby
baby.
Genius is about these sad kids that they have in a lab. They have these conversations, and these scientists are actually recording them, trying to figure out what's going on. They're baby geniuses. Well, they're talking in human language, of course, to us because we can, so that we can understand. But they're blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about how at a certain age they transition over. I think it's
Yeah.
about 3 years old. Take a look at that movie, and then what you're talking about, you're dead on. And
Yeah.
this movie's been out for years,
Right. And
years.
yeah, because their sister, which is the next one up from them, um, she's in it like 3, 4 years. She's at the stage where she like again talking to me with certain words like I'm hungry or eat this and that. But then when she communicates and plays and fights with them, it's all pitch and tone, scream, screech, this that. It's pitch and tone, and they understand each other. They react as they have literally a conversation. And I
It's
had to
amazing
be like,
how you're saying this to me now. And I
yeah.
recall watching Baby Genius years ago, and it's
Mm,
making total sense. It's like exactly what you said. The
right.
universal language is "Thou shalt not lie," and they hide it in plain sight.
In plain sight. So that reverts back to the beginning when God spoke was a
What
Beautiful.
language was it?
And the thing about it was that, and I keep saying this, we were there when that word was spoken. We witnessed the universe be birthed. Just don't fucking
This
know.
is probably why Jesus was the one who said, "You will have to be like a child to get to the kingdom of heaven."
Can't get any more plainer than that. Can't get any more plain than that. When we get old and we're laying in
We go back
hospital,
to children.
just
We go back to
eat
child
baby
life.
food, we cry, we
And then
whine, we
it
speak
goes
in
back
different
into
tongues.
it goes back to this though. Look, remember with that theory that you was telling me about?
Hmm.
This thing came up about 6 times now, right? Let's go into the thing of death, right? And the
Hmm.
white light that people so called see, right? Isn't this the circle of life? Because
Yeah,
the last thing you see when you die is light, and the first thing you see when you're born is light.
it's like it's like go to the darkness, people. If you don't want to come back here, stay in the dark. Beautiful place.
All
We're
right.
conditioned that we go to the light. You know, we condition that.
No, it's just more to it's just I mean, I don't know. It's just more to the story. And I hate
There's
really
light
having
in
conversations
the
with
dark.
you because my downloads come so fast when I come talking to you. It's not even right. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's something else. You and I and everybody on this earth has died thousands, if not millions of times, and we got so good at it, our egos just fly up, and it creates a fear because we have an addiction to this side because we are conditioned to that condition, addiction. You know, that's just
I
beautiful. That doesn't exist.
I will say this though. I know that we've supposedly done this so many times, but in my
Mhm,
heart of hearts, I do
mhm,
kind of believe that this is the last time, like the Bible predicted, and the only reason why is because we are waking up a lot faster.
mhm,
Um, we're learning to how to manage our emotions.
mhm,
This last test, which is probably just legitly letting go, is what we're all learning, and I really do believe that this is the last time. I really do.
But what if this is the last time, but not for us, but for them, the controllers, the ones who doing the true evil by lying to all of us about everything we ever
Because
know.
you gotta think about it. I will create a new heaven and a new earth.
Hmm.
This
Hmm.
is why it's the last time. Because once we
Hmm.
wake up completely, there's
Exactly.
no more pull over our eyes.
Right.
There's so many different ways that everybody is learning different things. People are
Hmm.
learning to put their hands in the dirt. People are learning to set filter water. People are learning or teaching some of us how to not eat anything.
Yeah.
We're learning there's herbalists out here.
Hmm.
There's um, a lot of people are learning how to channel their chakras and emotions and meditation
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
astral projection where we can don't
Hmm.
we're not just going to be here, we're going to be other places. We're getting there now. You get what I'm saying? So when I say this is the last time and you say it's the last time for them, it is the last time for control. This is the
Mm.
last time for the
Exactly.
devil, if that's
Exactly.
what you want, but if that's how you want to
Right.
put it.
Right. Right.
Do you
The bad
believe
energy that we don't want to be a part of. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. And that's what it is. I believe it. You're absolutely right about that. And the thing, and it's crazy. So when we do these things, because I'm thinking as you talk to me, that we meditate more, we connect with the earth, we eat better. Some of us stop eating, whatever the case may be. It's all physical in the realm, but I'm trying to figure out how can I condition my soul, my energy, my spirit. Yes, I can do what I want
condition
to do
it
with the vessel.
where? Condition
Hmm?
it how? Condition it where? Condition it how?
I guess in a way where as though that I can ascend to the next level. It's like So I know knowledge is power
Okay, so
and
this is the
wisdom
thing
is
you're
guidance.
not understanding though, because this is like you saying condition. Okay, condition the soul. Knowledge is
Yeah.
power. But this is the thing though.
Wisdom is guidance. Right.
Listen to
So
what I'm saying.
you
Like to
mhm,
really understand what I'm saying. Knowledge is power. We've already
mhm,
had the knowledge more ways than one. And the knowledge is spreading way faster than what it once
mhm.
was. So this is why
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
to me the last time. Because as a
Mhm.
collective, it's not just you know something and you wrote a book and then 10 different people reading it.
Right.
No, it's masses of people that are learning this all at the same time. You
Mhm.
get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
conditioning the
Yeah.
soul to the next level, no,
Mhm.
that it goes all the way back to when I say all is trying to get to one and one is trying to get to all. So I really do believe that as a collective, we gonna be like this again. You get what I'm saying? It's just
Right.
there is no next level. That's what makes it a new heaven and a new earth.
Right. 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 Okay. Okay. I wonder what happened to the old Earth.
You
Where's
said what
that?
happened to the
Where
old
can
one?
we, yeah, where can we
No,
locate that in the universe? You know, don't be surprised they already found it. They found hundreds, if not thousands, of Earth-like planets in our own Milky Way galaxy. Our
and
own
this is
galaxy.
probably why. Listen, this is like I said, I do believe that the
Hmm.
Bible is once was a diary or documentation, and amongst other things.
Right.
And there have been a lot of different people who have predicted, even years before us.
Yes.
There is a passage that's not really in the Bible. It comes from something else
Hmm.
that states that when Jesus comes,
Right.
just just hear me out. When Jesus
Hmm.
comes, um, just like we can go to heaven in a blink of an eye, cool.
Right.
That's not what's going to happen. We're going to travel, and we're going to set stop at a whole nother planet before we even
Hmm.
get to heaven. That
Right.
could be the new Earth. You know what I'm saying? That who knows? Why are
Right.
we
Right.
stopping at another planet? For
Right.
what?
In what
It
form
kind
will
of
we
sounds
be?
like what Elon Musk and them is trying to do. What you get what I'm saying? But they've been to several planets. How can
Yeah.
you tell me that it's raining diamonds if you haven't been there? How can you tell me that there is rain and fire, water and fire on that planet if you haven't been there?
Right.
How can
Right.
you
They get
how can
detailed.
one NASA for getting on a planet if you've never been there? Stop
Hmm.
playing me. You get what I'm saying? This is what I mean when I say the knowledge is going so far spread so fast that it's just absolutely is the last time.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
nothing else.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. And that's
All
why they're doing
learning at
what
the
they're
same
doing.
time, at the same speed, and I'm not going to even say at the same frequency. It's just the fact that we're all elevating, that our
Hmm.
frequency is becoming at a higher, faster rate together,
Yeah.
and that's all it's been about togetherness. We've all been
Right.
separated. We've all had fear. We've all hate. We did the hate thing. You get what I'm saying? We've done the fear.
Exactly.
We've done the hate. We've done the fighting. And now that love and that unity and that's that frequency that's uplifting and changing everything.
Yep. 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 And that's yeah. I can agree. I can agree. It's a beautiful thing. It's going to be even more beautiful. That's what it is.
We
Yeah.
just gotta get the ones, even us, some of us that are still, as I know you be on my Facebook. I go through my ups and roller coasters, but it's
Hmm.
that it's that love self first. They always
Yeah.
teach us treat your neighbor. What is it? Treat your neighbor as you treat yourself, or love your friend, love your enemy. Nobody really teaches you to love yourself.
Right.
There's
Love yourself.
a lot of things that all of us have missed, even as young children. You get what I'm saying? Again,
Exactly.
like I keep saying, this Bible is a documentary. They told us at one point in time that God cursed generations. We trying
Right.
to break them. You know what I'm
You talking about the
saying? It's a
same guy
lot.
who everlasting love that cursed us, huh?
No, I'm just saying. If you hear people talk now, they talk about breaking them generational curses, them same generational curses that we've been cursed upon. Who did it?
Yes.
How they do it? It had to do with, excuse me, a mind fuck thing, because that's basically what it was. Let me take the
Yep.
man out the home. Let me do this. Let me, however it was, we trying to
Yep.
break that. We trying to learn.
Exactly.
We teach ourselves self love. We'll be able to learn how to love others in a whole different
Mhm.
way. If we have our boundaries, then you know what I'm saying. We learn our own what we can stand doing, what we can stand. That'll make it so much easier to pass on to
Right.
someone else, and there will be
Right.
no need for boundaries because everybody will automatically know. It's a lot. Mm.
Yeah. Yep.
You know,
Yep.
I keep
Something else.
rambling and rambling like I ain't got nowhere to be. This is a good conversation, though. It really was. We're gonna have to add some more people. I keep saying, you guys. I mean, today, like I said, was a random talk, and we went elsewhere. But we do have so much more to learn, and we really, really, really want to know what you guys' opinions are. This is why this comment box is down there for you to comment. We'll see it. We'll put it up. We'll answer any
Right.
questions that you need because just like you want to know, we trying to learn too. We trying to grow too, and we only way we can do that is to dig in the soil and plant that flower and water that garden. Anything else you want
Mhm.
to add, Lil?
Nope. That is it. You just said a mouthful right there. Shoot. I'm gonna sit here and talk to my cat. Right.
No, just joking. Just let me go down because I know that my energy. I'm not even gonna lie, you guys. I know y'all heard me. Some of y'all heard me. Um,
Mhm.
what's the little thing that was telling you guys that this energy that has been pulling some of us. I'm not even gonna lie. I haven't been in a totally good state, but I've been trying to
Mhm.
keep a positive head and stay grateful
Exactly.
for each and everything, and that's what makes it a little bit better. So this kind of helped me out a little bit, and I appreciate that you still was like, "Is we doing this?" So yeah, we
Right.
did it, and we'll be here. What next week? Week after next?
We,
You
we,
gotta
we
see.
next week
You gotta
we,
see the
we can
Matrix.
come back tomorrow. I'm staying up almost the night with my coffee, my cat, and I'm gonna do some research now. You know,
You
and
can do it tomorrow. It's cool. I'm off. We can do that.
yeah, we go tomorrow. You know,
We
and
can
stuff.
talk
And
about some more. What you want to have a Bible study?
yeah, yeah, let's have one. I want to talk about our friend and your friend, my friend and your friend, Satan.
Who?
The guy, the entity that was blamed for everything, but nobody can tell me what that entity did.
It's funny. We can't get into that.
I'm sorry.
I'm not going to say nothing now, but I'm going to tell you to put a pin in this one so that you can remind me where to start at, okay? We're going to
Mm-hmm.
start
Yeah.
at the fact that, let's just start here. So you remember that I said this because
So,
this is where we're going to start.
mm,
They
I
say
will.
that
I will.
that Satan knows the Bible through and through.
How would it
I'm
Satan
gonna
know
leave it
through
there.
about we didn't write it? How we
I'm
know it
saying
through
he
we
was
didn't
there
write
in the big. He was there in the beginning. So let's just
it?
start
Okay.
there. So hold it
He
right
was,
there.
he was hanging out with Soph then, right?
Who?
Soph. Soph claimed that he was there in the beginning too.
Just
Uh, God is turning your
beginning.
microphone off because you're going in and out.
Y'all, good night. Bye. We love you. See you tomorrow. Same time, same
All right,
place.
tomorrow.
Bye.